All right, let's get right into it. Today, in this explainer, we're tackling one of the most consistently underestimated risks in deploying AI. We're talking about the massive and honestly often invisible gap between a really polished prototype and a scalable production system. Look, we've all seen it happen, right? An engineering team builds this fantastic generative AI prototype. It works literally flawlessly on a handful of test cases. Stakeholders are thrilled, everyone's high-fiving, and they rush to deploy. But then, within weeks, or honestly, sometimes just days, the whole thing starts to crumble. So what goes wrong? Well, today we're going to explore exactly why that happens, and more importantly, what you can actually do to prevent it.
To make sense of all this, we'll walk through a clear timeline today. First, we'll define the systems problem. Second, we'll break down the 6 gaps of production. Third, we'll look at the root causes and fixes. Fourth, we'll trace a system through 3 months in production. And finally, we'll build out a production readiness review.
Okay, let's start with part 1, the systems problem. Moving from the lab into the wild.
We need a fundamental mindset shift right off the bat here. An LLM pipeline that performs beautifully on, say, 50 carefully curated, perfectly formatted test queries, it is going to behave like a completely different, failing system when it suddenly gets hit with 50,000 unpredictable, real-world user queries. Real inputs are incredibly messy. The traffic is concurrent. The edge cases, they're practically infinite. So frame this in your mind right now because your success really depends on it. When an AI agent fails in production, it's rarely because the underlying language model just forgot how to speak English. This is a systems problem. It is not a model quality problem.
Which brings us to section 2, the 6 gaps of production, or what I like to call fractures in the wild.
This divergence from your demo conditions doesn't just happen randomly. It fractures along 6 specific fault lines. Gap number 1 is input distribution shift. Picture this. In your demo, your document processing tool was tested on beautiful, crisp, cleanly formatted PDFs. Perfect, right? You deploy it, and immediately real users start uploading scanned, coffee-stained faxes, badly photographed receipts, or weird contracts mixing 3 different languages. The model doesn't necessarily crash, it just quietly starts making silent rounding errors, or it starts dropping crucial clauses simply because it was never designed for that register. Your pristine lab data just completely shifted beneath your feet.
Then we have gap 2, latency under concurrent load. You had a beautiful 1-second response time when you were doing 1 request per second, but suddenly that becomes an agonizing 8-second delay the exact second 50 concurrent requests hit the system. Why? Well, generative AI is fundamentally memory-bound. If your serving stack and your memory management, things like your KV cache, aren't specifically architected for concurrent load, your latency is absolutely going to explode the moment multiple users log on at the same time.
Gap 3 brings us to cost at volume. $47,000. That is a very real figure from a team that ran AI agents in production before they actually understood where their money was going. Look, token costs are practically invisible when you're doing 100 requests a day. It's pennies. But when you scale up to 100,000 requests and real users start triggering crazy multi-step reasoning loops, those tiny fractions of a cent compound into a massive $47,000 infrastructure line item. Suddenly, cost isn't just some minor operational detail. It becomes a literal existential threat to your product.
Gap 4 focuses on silent failure modes. And honestly, this might be the most dangerous one of the bunch. Think about it. If a traditional database goes down, you get a 500 error, right? An alarm goes off, a pager buzzes, an engineer goes in and fixes it. LLMs do not fail loudly. They fail confidently. A drop in quality doesn't produce an error code. If a model update quietly changes its behavior or your retrieval system pulls stale data, the LLM just confidently hallucinates a beautifully written, completely wrong output. No warnings, no alerts. It just quietly gets worse.
Gap 5 is integration brittleness. Let's be real. Your prototype is probably a fragile tower of optimism. It assumes that your vector database will always return a highly relevant match, the embedding model will perfectly capture the exact meaning, and the API will literally never time out. But out in production, those aren't weird edge cases. That's just a typical Tuesday afternoon. The exact moment an upstream data source shifts, or a downstream consumer does something unexpected, or a search returns absolutely nothing relevant, that whole tower of optimism completely topples over.
And finally, gap 6, the expansion of the security surface. In your lab, testing naturally assumes good faith users who are just trying to accomplish a task. But real-world production traffic? It includes adversarial users who are actively, constantly hunting for injection vulnerabilities and data extraction opportunities.
Your sterile testing environment simply never simulated someone actively trying to trick your AI into leaking its core system prompt or bypassing all your safety guardrails.
Moving right along to Section 3, Root Causes and Fixes, focusing on specific engineering disciplines.
Here's the absolute crucial takeaway. Each of those 6 gaps stems from a totally different root cause. You can't just slap a single blanket fix on this, like throwing money at a bigger server or just writing a slightly better system prompt, and expect these problems to magically disappear. You need targeted engineering disciplines. This map actually serves as our roadmap for the rest of this entire explainer series. To fix input shift and silent failures, we'll need robust automated evaluation. To survive integration brittleness, you have to build deep observability. To tackle latency and cost, you absolutely must optimize your serving infrastructure. And to defend against those security probes, that requires strict governance. Every single piece of this puzzle demands a highly specialized approach.
All right, let's get practical with Section 4, 3 months in production, or what we can call the timeline of doom. Let's ground this theory in reality for a second. Imagine a generic, end-to-end document Q&A system. It works flawlessly in the demo. Let's see what actually happens to it when it hits the wild without those specific engineering arcs in place. Here is your 3-month timeline of doom. In month 1, the honeymoon ends instantly. Unexpected inputs start rolling in, like users uploading huge foreign language documents, and security probes immediately hit the system. By month 2, hey, the app gets popular, but that concurrent load causes latency to spike to like 10 seconds a query, and multi-step token generation causes infrastructure costs to completely explode past the budget. And by month 3, undocumented API changes and stale vector data cause the system to quietly generate degraded, hallucinated answers. The system never actually crashed. It just slowly became completely useless. Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, the Production Readiness Review, your gatekeeper blueprint. So how do we actually prevent that entire timeline of doom? The answer is not just writing better code on the fly. It's establishing a rigid gatekeeper. Engineering teams need a structured blueprint before they ever ship an LLM system. We call this the Production Readiness Review. It's a rigorous visual checklist covering every single gap type we've discussed today. Before exposing your AI to wild, real-world traffic, you have to establish systematic evaluation baselines so you can actually measure degradation. You need end-to-end observability to trace where your latency and cost are coming from. You absolutely must tune concurrency and add semantic caching. You need to implement circuit breakers for API timeouts and definitely lock down your security constraints. If you skip these steps, you are literally just waiting for that 3-month timeline of doom to strike.
And that leaves us with a final thought to set up our next explainer. Look at the very first item on any production readiness review, prompt versioning. It sounds incredibly basic, right? Yet, ironically, it is the absolute simplest thing almost every single team gets wrong. Think about it. A developer tweaks a prompt on a Friday afternoon, no evaluation runs, and by Monday morning, the system is hallucinating wildly with absolutely no way to roll back because that old version was never tracked. So ask yourself right now, are you systematically tracking yours? We'll dive deep into exactly how to fix that in our next explainer. Thanks for joining me on this one, and keep building smart.